Now the details of the news. President Bola Tinubu has promised that his administration will support initiatives to promote security within the Gulf of Guinea. According to him, the Gulf of Guinea has become the main transit hub and facilitator for Africa's economic growth. He also said that the region has vast oil and natural gas reserves, supplying about 10% of global energy demand, with significant quantities consumed in Europe, North America, and Asia. Represented by the National Security Advisor, Norori Badu, Tinubu spoke at the opening of the 8th Symposium of Heads of Navies and Coast Guards in the Gulf of Guinea on the maritime environment in Abuja. The symposium, with the theme Maritime Security and Sustainable Development in the Gulf of Guinea, was hosted by the Nigerian Navy in partnership with the European Union and the French Navy. Tinubu said regional and global collaboration was critical in unlocking the immense potential of the blue economy in the Gulf of Guinea region. Towards ensuring security of lives and properties in schools across the 20 local government areas of the state, Ogun State Government, in collaboration with the Nigerian Police Force, has inaugurated a school protection squad. The inauguration was done during the Stakeholders Forum on the security of schools in Ogun State and training of the SPS organized by the NPF in Abeokuta to strengthen security resilience and integration of host communities in the protection of educational environment. Ogun State Governor Prince Tapo Abiodun commended the leadership of the Nigerian Police Force for coming up with such timely initiative to tackle insecurity in schools and reduce it to the barest minimum, saying the protection of educational institutions, safety of students and educators is paramount to national growth. He emphasized that without the safety of the students and children, there could be no meaningful education, sustainable development, and brighter future for the nation, adding that the need to safeguard the schools and people could not be overstated. Represented by the Commissioner for Education, Science and Technology, Professor Abayomi Arigbabu, the state MSman explained that the government understands that it was not enough to provide a secured environment, but building formidable response mechanism from security threat was also required, noting that more than law enforcement and security measures, holistic approach, which involves all stakeholders, must be involved.
Different security initiatives such as the Ogun State Security Trust Fund and the Community Policing Initiative, such as Amoteku, SOSU, and so on, have been designed to ensure that security is not only a government responsibility but a shared communal effort.
Speaking, the Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbetokun, represented by Assistant Inspector General of Police, AIG, Adegoke Fayade, commended the government support and passion for the cause of school protection in the state, saying the federal government has made it a top priority to protect schools through the Safe School project, aimed at outlining a broad vision for prevention of attacks and focusing on ensuring a safe learning environment for national development.
Promote a safe and conducive learning environment. All hands must be on deck to strengthen security resilience in our communities and safeguard all our schools and education.
Ogun State Commissioner of Police, Abiodun Alamutu, said the force is implementing preventive measures and promoting a culture of safety, saying it will identify risk factors specific to each institution through comprehensive assessment. Representing the traditional rulers, Olu of Ilaro and paramount ruler of Yowa land, Oba Dr. Kehinde Olubenle, represented by the Olu of Imashai, Oba Adeleke Koye, promised maximum support for the security agencies to accomplish the objective of the Safe School initiative. Ogun State Governor Prince Abeokuta has declared open a two-day workshop for health, safety and environment personnel of industries in Ogun State on industrial waste management, with an assurance of the commitment of the administration to continue to develop framework for effective and healthy management of industrial waste. Participants at the workshop held at the Olusegun Obasanjo Presidential Library, Mackay, were drawn from representatives of industries, industrial waste vendors, health, safety and environment personnel, and other stakeholders in the industry. Matthew Shoumi completes the report.
With enhancing industrial waste management for a sustainable future, regulatory compliance, public health, and global best practices chosen as the theme, the workshop is aimed at bridging the gap in the effective management of industrial waste and building the capacity of personnel. Ogun State Governor Prince Abeokuta, represented by his deputy, Engineer Noimon Salako Yedele, said the rapid industrial growth of the state requires dedicated and highly focused personnel who are well grounded in the effective management of the waste coming out of the industries.
Industrial waste management is not merely about compliance. It is about innovation, foresight, and leadership. Around the world, industries are embracing circular economic models that transfer waste into valuable resources.
Commissioner for Environment in Ogun State, Ola Oresanya, revealed that this is the best way to guarantee the health and safety of the people and the communities hosting several industries in the state.
We keep sanctioning these companies, but we find out that, look, there's a gap. Many of them, it was after they paid their salary, they start asking, what do you want us to do? That means there's a knowledge gap, and I think that's why we're here today, knowing what to do. And knowing what to do is not just with the industries, also within the establishment itself.
Special Advisor and Managing Director of Ogun State Waste Management Authority, Abayomi Hunye, stated that the challenges of waste management are constantly evolving, and the workshop would help improve the capacity of the health, safety and environment personnel to do the job better.
It is designed to provide our HSC professionals with the knowledge, skill, and tools to navigate the intricate landscape of industrial waste management through a series of expert-led sessions. We will explore a range of critical topics.
There were good messages from the representatives of industries, waste management companies, and waste vendors.
It's actually what we have been practicing, but you learn every day. Knowledge is the key thing when you are talking of management of waste.
The workshop then went into technical session where different papers were presented on the effective management of waste. Matthew Shoumi, OGTV News.
In commemoration of the year 2024 World Diabetes Day, Talabi Diabetes Center Ishararemo organized a day seminar to sensitize people on the symptoms, risks, and management of diabetes. Ayodeji Tomori Olumi reports that the event also featured free medical checkup and drug administration to attendees. This report.
Diabetes is a killer disease that occurs due to high amount of sugar in the blood. If not properly managed, diabetes can damage vital organs like kidney, nervous system, heart, eyes, brain, and can also lead to fatal diseases such as heart attack, renal failure, and stroke. As a way of educating the public on the deadly disease, Talabi Diabetes Center, Ishararemo, held its annual seminar on diabetes and its management.
Statistics have shown that the morbidity and mortality will be more felt in the low-income countries. That's why we are bringing up this annually in order to cut down on the burden of diabetes.
We are a not-for-profit organization heavily involved in diabetes education and diabetes care.
The guest lecturer, Dr. Abimbola Lawal, revealed that diabetes may not show early symptoms. Therefore, regular medical checkup is recommended.
Diabetes care is much more than just looking at what their blood glucose, which they call blood sugar level is to maintain health in every path, maintain health as regards their blood pressure, as regards their lipids, as regards even their mental well-being. These are all the things that persons living with diabetes must look into.
Attendees lauded the yearly seminar by Talabi Diabetes Center with an appreciation for the opportunity provided them.
I came here for the first time, but there are so many things that I did not know that can cause diabetes, in which I was involved. But now, because of the knowledge that I have acquired here, so I know how to checkmate what to eat and what not to eat.
There were free medical checkup and drugs for attendees provided by Talabi Diabetes Center. Ayodeji Tomori Olumi, OGTV News.
And still on health, a testament to the Nigerian Army's commitment to contributing to national development and the well-being of local communities, as well as complementing efforts of government at all levels. The Nigerian Army has commissioned the Olugbo Primary Health Center and its staff quarters. The commissioning, overseen by the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Olufemi Oluyede, was held in Olugbo Town in Odeda local government area of Ogun State. Aderoke Oladile completes the report.
In a move aimed at fostering positive relations between the Nigerian Army and local communities, the Chief of Army Staff Special Civil Military Cooperation Project has launched a significant initiative in Odeda local government in Ogun State. The project, designed to enhance support for the military's efforts in addressing national security challenges, also encourages senior military officers to give back to their communities through developmental projects. One of such is the renovation and refurbishing of the Olugbo Primary Health Center and staff quarters in Odeda. Project executor and commander of the Corps of Supply and Transport, Major General Adebayo Adeyinka, notes that the renovated health center would serve 62 surrounding communities, significantly improving healthcare access to thousands of residents.
With a view to guaranteeing the sustained operations of this facility, we have keyed into the Ogun State Government Health Insurance Scheme. We've established a scholarship program to sponsor some qualified children from the community to the Ogun State College of Nursing, and we have also established a community-based management support team to ensure that this facility keeps running and serving our people.
Various stakeholders present at the event praised the project and urged the local community to take ownership of the new facility.
This health center will serve as a sanctuary for health and hope, providing essential medical services, maternal care, immunizations, and emergency intervention, among others.
Very happy, and I appreciate the military. I appreciate my governor that allowed it. Some governors will say no, they should not come, but he allowed it.
We would like our people in Olugbo and this environment and the whole of Odeda to come and use the state-of-the-art facility that has been provided by the Facilitator General Adeyinka.
Representing the Chief of Army Staff, Major General Baba Umaru Yaya highlighted the importance of the initiative in enhancing the well-being of the community as a whole.
The projects are designed to contribute to infrastructural development, support communities in their areas of need, and further strengthen our relationship with people in the benefiting communities.
Following the official commissioning of the health center, named after the executor's father, the engineer at the Sir Adeyinka Health Center was unveiled. In a further demonstration of the project impact, over 700 indigent residents of Odeda were enrolled in the Ogun State Health Insurance Scheme. This is to provide better access to affordable healthcare services. Adirunke Oladile, OGTV News.
Still to come in the news, Kaduna sales facing companies over 1.5 billion naira unpaid land use charges. We'll bring you details of reason more when we return. To stay with us.
Let me ask you a question. What's holding you back? Is it the pressure of your job, the demands of your education, or your ability to connect with the world? Is it access to the right information? Are you lost? Is it your location, or where you live, or how far you are away from the opportunities? Maybe it's your language, your culture, or your traditions. Again, I ask you, what's holding you back?
Unlimited data from Airtel 5G Smart Connect. Whoever, wherever you are, stay connected. Stay limitless. Airtel, a reason to imagine.
Thanks for joining us again. The news continues. In a growing need to redefine, manage and safeguard data for proper planning, Ogun State Traffic Compliance and Enforcement Corps, TRACE, has organized the 9th TRACE Commanders Conference and Retreat for its senior officers. The event was held at Obas Complex, Governor's Office, Okemoso, Abeokuta, Ogun State. Toyin Oguntepe has the details.
In optimizing traffic flow, identifying current congestion points, and managing urban density in the state, officers of the Ogun State Traffic Compliance and Enforcement Agency, TRACE, were charged during the 9th Annual TRACE Commandant Conference that effective data management must extend beyond compliance but should embody a culture of integrity and innovation that ensure adequate information for the benefit of the community. The Deputy Governor of Ogun State, Engineer Noimon Salako Oyedele, said the aim of keeping the road safe also called for commitment in focusing on advancement in line with modern reality.
We have prioritized investments in road infrastructure and also built in a robust traffic management and transportation. We'll continue to support TRACE in meeting its objectives and achieving our collective vision of safer roads.
The TRACE Commandant General and Chief Executive Officer, Commandant Sheni Oguyemi, stressed that data collection is at the heart of the agencies, saying this will help in formulating traffic compliance to enhance safety of life and property.
It is the data that we will use to ensure safety on our roads. Whatever anything we are doing in our walk of lives, we always need to generate data.
Similarly, the head of service of Ogun State, Kehinde Onosoya, said adequate data to formulate policies channeled to enhance safety of life and property in the state.
This conference serves as an excellent example of the investment of government in building a more capable and responsive workforce.
Reflecting on the theme of the conference, effective traffic data collection and protection compliance, stakeholders submit that while data collection is critical, what is more crucial is the usage of the data collected.
By empowering ourselves with reliable data, we can better anticipate challenges, optimize traffic flow, and ultimately create safer environments for all road users.
Awards were presented to some individuals in recognition of their contribution to the agency. Toyin Ogundipe, OGTV News.
Governments have been urged to drive the implementation of policies that engender economic growth, upscale investment in infrastructure, small and medium enterprises, job creation, and food subsidies to help reduce poverty. This admonition was given by the Vice Chancellor of FUNAP, Professor Olushola Kehinde, at the investiture ceremony of Chartered Institute of Directors, Nigeria, held at Providence Event Hall, Leme, Abeokuta. Our reporter, Nkem Ago, covered the event.
Formed in 1986 with the mandate to cater for and represent directors in the individual capacities across the various sectors of the economy, the Chartered Institute of Directors of Nigeria, has made significant and highly impressive strides, working closely with government, corporate organizations, bilateral chambers to raise the standards of corporate governance and leadership in the private and public sectors. The investiture of the new executive of the Institute was graced by government functionaries, notable personalities, and members of different professional bodies in Nigeria. In his keynote address titled Innovation Strategies for Achieving Food Security in Nigeria, Professor Olushola Babatunde Kehinde harped on the need to address gaps in terms of operationality vis-a-vis food security.
And so, while we discuss this, it is very essential that an institution like the Chartered Institute of Directors can also play its own role, because we have in our midst here experts in various fields, and we can contribute towards this discourse in our own little areas.
President and Chairman of Governing Council Chartered Institute of Directors Nigeria, Alhaji Tijani Borodo, charged the second chairman and the executive members to promote the ethics, principles and practice of the Institute for the betterment of the state and people around there.
As leaders within the Southwest business community, we must uphold these values in everything we do. Strive for excellence in your professional endeavors and lead by example, demonstrating the highest ethical standards in your decision-making.
Commissioner for Industry, Trade and Investment, Mr. Adebola Shofela, applauded and congratulated the new executive members and urged them to continually leading world-class professional institutes consistently.
Irrespective of where we are as leaders, as directors, we must show forth those core values of integrity, meritocracy, particularly in the public space, professionalism, and that's why you have a mix of people who want to the private sector coming into the public sector place to collaborate with them and to make sure that governance is not only efficient but also very effective.
Ogun State Head of Service, Mr. Kehinde Onosoya, who was represented by the Permanent Secretary, Bureau of Public Service Reforms, Mr. Oyejola Oyeneye, commended the Institute for the achievements recorded so far.
When we get to junctions of choosing new people to lead, we look, you will see that we need to look carefully well.
The newly sworn-in chairman of the Chartered Institute of Directors Nigeria, Abeokuta Southwest Zone, and the OC of Egbaland, Chief Dr. Olabode Akim Mustafa, was grateful to God for the opportunity given to him to lead his members.
The inauguration of the ESCO of the Southwest Zone Chapter today is yet another testament to the Institute's commitment to decentralizing the operations and thereby bringing the services closer to the business communities in various regions.
The Chartered Institute of Directors Nigeria prides itself in building capacity of directors by competent and committed professionals through well-developed programs, sound ethical practices, and enriched policy through advocacy. Nkem Agu, OGTV News.
The government of Ogun State is intensifying efforts towards maximizing all agricultural assets in the state for sufficient food production. Commissioner for Agriculture and Food Security, Bolu Owotomo, disclosed this during official visit to multinational agricultural facilities in Ikenne local government area of the state. Fuora Adesonwo reports.
Another giant steps towards ensuring food security and sufficiency in Ogun State and Nigeria. Two top multinational agricultural companies, Mastermeat and Animal Care, hosted the State Commissioner for Agriculture and Food Security, Bolu Owotomo. Mastermeat is an Zambian company which has been operating in Ogun State since 2009, was the first port of call with all its operational areas inspected with keen interest from government officials. Honorable Bolu Owotomo speaks at the facility tour to the Mastermeat and Animal Care.
Mastermeat produces beef
for ShopRite 26 locations across Nigeria. We have come to observe their facility, which is under leasehold from the Ministry of Agriculture, and they have been in this facility for about 15 years. And we are pleased with what we have seen today. They are following best practices in slaughtering the animals and in ensuring that it is hygienic to consumers.
Animal care is at the forefront of protein production in Nigeria.
Giving employment generation opportunity for our teaming youth, they engage over 2,000 staff in this facility that we are today. So we came here to look at their facility and encourage them to do more.
The leader of the Master Meat team had earlier expressed the satisfaction of his company to the synergy enjoyed with Ogun State government for over 1.5 decades of operation.
We are glad to be in Ogun State, and we have been well hosted by Ogun State government, and over the year it's been a joy working from here. Security, we are secured. The environment is good, and our head office, they are well pleased working from here.
At the animal care, Ogiri Remo, Dr. Koyemio Agbato, who led the team of management of the company, expressed the willingness to work with Ogun State government towards youth and women empowerment in agriculture-related sector.
Oh yeah, it's a fantastic one. It's one of the biggest gifts to Ogun State, this agro-cargo airport. We're strategically located. There's going to be we're already seeing a lot of infrastructure development. There's going to be lots of infrastructure, power, improvement, roads, even value appreciation of our assets by virtue of it being around here. And we hope to tap in. We're exploring a lot of markets, international agro markets, agricultural markets. We're hoping to explore it, and that will be like a wonderful way for us to access the international market. So we're already strategizing and looking at how we can reposition our business to key into it.
The Commissioner for Agriculture and Food Security said no facility will be left unutilized in the state towards the move to attaining food security. Adefowura Adesonwo, OGTV News.
The House of Representatives has approved the 2025-2027 medium-term expenditure framework and fiscal strategy paper MTF-FSP submitted by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, paving the way for presentation of the 2025 budget. The MTF-FSP provides the key parameters for preparing the annual budget. The report on the framework was presented for consideration by the chairman of the House Committee on Finance, who informed members that it was the result of a joint meeting between both the House and Senate committees alongside relevant government agencies. The MTF retained the government recommendation of 1,400 naira exchange rate to the dollar, subject to review in the new year, and an oil production of 2.06 million barrels of crude per day with $75 per barrel of crude price. The House approved a projection of 15.75% inflation rate and a gross domestic product growth rate of 4.6% for 2025. It also approved the promissory note program and bond issuance to settle outstanding claims and liabilities of federal government owned to states, high priority judgments, as well as liabilities incurred by federal ministries, departments and agencies on behalf of government. In addition, the House approved the recommendation that a quarterly investigative hearing with revenue-generating agencies to track the compliance with the Fiscal Responsibility Act and punish those in clear contravention of the Act. In line with the 1999 Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria as amended, the Ogun State House of Assembly will on Friday, November 29th, 2024, play host to the State Governor, Prince Dapo Abiodun, as he presents the year 2025 appropriation bill to the House of Assembly. In a statement signed by the Clerk and Head of Legislative Service, Ogun State House of Assembly, Adebakin Shakiru Aremu, the annual budget presentation will be a twin celebration as the Governor will take advantage of his visit to commission the newly redesigned Assembly complex. The redesigning process has seen the 45-year-old complex give way to a modern structure that could match any legislative complex across the world. The budget presentation will take place at the newly upgraded Alot Chamber of the House of Assembly Complex, Ukimoson, Abeokuta at 10 in the morning prompt, while stakeholders, guests and other government functionaries are expected to be seated at 9:30 a.m. prompt. And from Kaduna State, the State Internal Revenue Service has sealed the premises of 13 companies in the state capital over unpaid land-based revenue amounting to 1.5 billion naira. Among the affected companies included 5 commercial banks, a hotel, filling stations, and an eatery. Speaking to journalists, the legal advisor of the Kaduna State Internal Revenue Service, Aisha Garuba, who led the enforcement team, said the sealing of the companies was in line with the powers vested in the service by Section 104 of the Personal Income Tax Act and Section 24, subsections 1 to 3 of the Kaduna State Tax Modification and Consolidation Law 2020 as amended. She also explained that the Revenue Service secured a court order for the immediate closure and takeover of all the affected properties until the unpaid land-based revenue liabilities were fully settled. The federal government has tasked stakeholders from the justice sector, law enforcement agencies and civil society organizations to support measures geared towards putting an end to the practice of torture in Nigeria in line with the United Nations Convention Against Torture and the Operational Protocol to the Convention Against Torture. The Solicitor General of the Federation and Permanent Secretary, Federal Ministry of Justice, Mrs. Beatrice Jeda Agba, represented by the Chief State Counsel and member of the National Committee Against Torture, Dr. Omozoje Okobo, made the call in Abuja in her remarks at the sensitization and advocacy session for law enforcement agencies, MDAs, and relevant stakeholders on UNCAT. She urged the stakeholders to collaborate and speak with one voice against the perpetrators of torture and other cruel, inhumane, degrading treatment meted out to persons, especially those in detention, which is against the law and legal instruments of the country. She, however, reassured all that plans are ongoing to review the Anti-Torture Act and regulations to expand the definition and torture and improve mechanisms to discourage and eradicate torture in places of detention, such as deprivation of liberty in Nigeria's police stations, prisons, and other detention facilities, such as psychiatric hospitals and other places where persons are not permitted to live at their own will. As part of activities commemorating the 2024 Ososa Umoroyo Day celebration, a book titled Character has been launched with a charge on Nigerians to build a new nation through character reforms as embedded in Yoruba culture. Stakeholders who graced the business section of the week-long celebration submitted this during the official presentation of the book held at St. Thomas Primary School, Ososa. Benga Dekoya's report is presented in this package.
Unveiling the book titled Character, which was part of the activities commemorating the 2024 Ososa Omoroyo Day celebration, the Bigon Day of Ososa, Oba Adetoye Alatishe, and the Bagbim of Ijebuland, Dr. Adetokunbo Fasi Yusuf, lauded the author for the initiative, saying it will go a long way towards promoting the need to be of good character in the society.
We assure you that it's a very good book, and we will all be happy to have a copy or more for ourselves.
Character is everything. Once you get your character right, everything will fall in place. Character is the foundation of any society, is the foundation of any nation, is the foundation of humanity.
While reviewing the book, Professor Olukayode Maku opined that character cuts across all human endeavors, saying the book propagates honesty, dignity, and self-reliance as it is designed for growing children.
Particularly those who believe that the only feasible approach to experience a Nigerian of our heart desire is to revisit our character, values, and be committed to a paradigm shift.
Author of the book, Professor Olatunde Bright Adetola, said he believes in a new Nigeria through character reforms to collectively change the current narrative of social vices that have eaten deep into the garments of young ones.
When we put this book together, of course, academics, we are always short of funds. We then roll out messages to people all over the world. Now we have this idea that we believe that can add value to our country. We have this book containing 20 chapters and it's titled Character. Will you please invest? Some of the investors are here today.
The chairman of the occasion, Chief Yemi Adeomi, Ogun State Commissioner for Education, Science and Technology, Professor Abayomi Arigbabu, represented by the Odo-Ogbolu Zonal Education Officer, Mobolaji Adedipe, thanked the author for reviving the old culture of Omoluabi, charging parents and guardians to be of good character. The theme of the Entrepreneurship Day of the 2024 Omoroyo Day celebration is to create hope in yourself, your community, and the world, and it provides an opportunity for various investors to showcase their product.
The management of Taisholari University of Education, TASWED, will confer Honorary Doctor of Science, honoris causa degrees on 4 eminent Nigerians at its upcoming 16th convocation. A statement by the management of the institution indicated that the esteemed awardees, who have been carefully selected based on their outstanding contributions to their respective fields and significant impact on society, include Barrister Dr. Taiwo Afolabi, a visionary entrepreneur and accomplished lawyer with diverse interest in maritime, aviation, knowledge, and hospitality, and Prince Dr. Oluyemi Shilon, a multifaceted professional with qualifications in engineering, law, stockbroking, and a renowned art collector. Others are Wasi Taiwo, a celebrated entrepreneur, distinguished business leader, philanthropist, and community icon, and engineer Jubril Shanuse, a graduate of petroleum engineering and visionary leader who has demonstrated remarkable spirit throughout his career. The convocation ceremony is scheduled for Thursday, 28 November 2024. Business news is next now. Itiwalade Faison Dongwewe.
You're welcome to business segment of the news. No fewer than 25 state governments will be beneficiaries of the newly approved $500 million World Bank loan to improve water resource management for hydropower and irrigation. This was the federal government through the Federal Ministry of Water Resources and Sanitation and the Ministry of Power signed a memorandum of understanding with the World Bank for the implementation of the Sustainable Power and Irrigation for Nigeria project. The signing ceremony was attended by the Minister of Water Resources and Sanitation, Professor Joseph Yutsef, and the Minister of Power, Adebayo Adelabo. The latest development was disclosed in a statement signed by the Special Advisor to the Minister of Power on Strategic Communication and Media Relations, Bolaji Tunji, in Abuja. The Central Bank of Nigeria has issued fresh guidelines for interbank foreign exchange trading via the electronic foreign exchange matching system, mandating a minimum trade value of $100,000. The directive dated 25th November 2024 and signed by Dr. Omolara Duke, CBN's Director of the Financial Markets Department, as part of efforts to ensure transparency, efficiency, and compliance with Nigeria's foreign exchange market. According to a new set of guidelines released by the CBN, the FMS is designed to streamline interbank foreign exchange trading, reduce counterpart risks, and ensure adherence to CBN regulations. The Apex Bank has designated Bloomberg's B-Match as the official order matching platform for interbank transactions with trading hours set between 9 in the morning and 4 in the afternoon West African time on business days. And now the Nigerian Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission, NUPRC, has surpassed its revenue target by 49% when global hydrocarbon producers are witnessing lower royalties and weak margins. The achievement is coming despite onslaught on oil and gas investment due to the global push for energy transition. The revenue surge was disclosed at the public interaction hearing organized by the National Assembly Joint Committee on Finance and Planning on the 2025 to 2027 medium-term fiscal framework and fiscal strategy paper. As of October 2024, the NUPRC had surpassed its revenue target by 49%, signaling more revenues for the government to fund its deficit. After 7 postponements of the Port Harcourt Refinery Company has finally commenced fuel production, promising a daily supply of about 200 trucks as about 1 million liters of refined product were released by the plant on Tuesday. The Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited unveiled the refinery on Tuesday, saying the old facility, which has a capacity of 60,000 barrels per day, had been revamped and upgraded with modern equipment. It said the newly rehabilitated complex of the old Port Harcourt refinery is currently operating at a refining capacity of 70% of its installed capacity. NNPCL's Group Chief Executive Officer Millie Carey said the bigger refinery in the Eleme complex that houses the plant with 150,000 capacity had yet to be completed. And finally, the Nigeria Customs Service has stated that West Africa has emerged as a notable destination hub in the global stolen vehicle trade network. The service added that the network extends from Europe and North America to as far as South America and Australia. The Comptroller General of Customs, Adewale Adeniyi, disclosed this on Tuesday in Lagos while displaying some seized vehicles to journalists. He added that the last few months, the service has intensified its tracking operations against the vehicle trafficking syndicate operating within the borders. And that's it on the business segment of the news tonight. Many thanks for joining. Back to Bukola.
Thanks to Alade. Now to the foreign segment of the news. A ceasefire between Israel and Hezbollah has come into effect in Lebanon after more than a year of fighting. Meanwhile, the new Prime Minister of Mauritius has said he has reservations about the deal struck by his predecessor with the UK government last month over the Chagos Islands. Let's now join Inyulu Adeniyi for details on the foreign scene.